Hello, my name is Duncan and welcome to Bath Books, back away from the donkey, as I seem to say at the beginning of every video. And today I'm going to talk about your hearing as a reader. It's just a bit of a weird one. I need to take you back to sort of the early to mid 1980s. I'm a big fan of music, and I went to numerous bands live, and I came out a lot of times with ringing in my ears. I remember seeing Motorhead and my ears ringing for about 2 days. I went to see a bunch of thrash metal acts in 1986 in a warehouse in Leeds, and my hearing was ringing for 4 days. I remember seeing Faith No More in Bristol, and my hearing ringing for a couple of days. And there used to be another little club in Bristol that I saw bands like Soundgarden and Corrosion of Conformity and people like that, and basically my hearing was ringing after that. Also, when I left school, in between I went to art college for a bit, and then I ended up in the printing industry, and I was working on ended up working on small printing presses, and printers used to have some of the highest rates of industrial deafness of all sort of industries. And as much as we used ear protection, we didn't use it correctly, we didn't use it all the time, and it was quite bad. And what I've noticed over the past few years of all this history is that my hearing is a bit dodgy. Okay, it's I have problems. If there's a crowded room, my differentiating people's sounds is sometimes quite difficult. And my friend who I used to work with in the printing industry, who now actually owns the company, he last year went and got assessed for his hearing and ended up getting fitted with some hearing aids because his hearing was that bad, and that was from printing. But he worked with like heavy presses a lot longer than I did, so my hearing's a little bit dodgy. And what I've noticed recently, not recently, it's probably over the past couple of years, is I pick up on my hearing does weird things. The other week I went to see Fast and Furious 10 at cinema. Don't judge me, don't judge me. And it was so loud. My wife, I said she's disabled, she has an illness as well, so she's incredibly sensitive to sound, so she always wears ear defenders if we go to a film or something like that, because of the sounds on it. But that one, the Fast and Furious 10, affected me so much, she had a spare set of earplugs, and I actually put them in. It was so loud, and I was sat there thinking, I've actually got anything in my ears, but it just took away, the sounds were so loud, it was physically painful. And speaking to doctors and stuff like that, there is a thing that when the hairs inside your ear, some of them die as you get older and as you damage your hearing. And what happens is sometimes you get loud noises and far too many hairs of the remaining ones join in, so you suddenly get a loudness coming. But as a reader, you'd think, so why is this important unless you're listening to audiobooks and stuff, your hearing? Well, the other thing I've discovered is that I can sometimes be oversensitive to quiet sounds. I do a lot of reading late at night. Sort of 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I might have my window open, and I'll be sitting there, and there'd just be like tweeting of a bird or a weird little noise in the background of some animal or something like that. And I will pick up on these noises, and I will lose concentration from reading. I never used to have this problem. I used to be able to listen to music while reading, even have the TV on in the background or any other noise, because I used to get so pulled in. But recently I've not been able to. So what has revolutionized my reading is a pair of ear defenders. And it sounds like overkill. What happened was I tried my wife's ones when reading one night, and I discovered that the amount of sound it cut out got rid of these tiny little background noises, and I was able to concentrate more, especially late at night. I don't have that problem much in the day. Noises in the day don't seem to bother me as much, but it's when it's ultra quiet. So they sort of revolutionised my reading at night. The ear defenders, these ones are actually more powerful than my wife's. They cut out to about 47 decibels. My wife's is only up to 27. But I've just started using them, and they also help when I'm writing. Everybody in their sister seems to be mowing grass 24 hours a day at the moment around here. So sometimes when I'm writing, I put them on as well. But yeah, all I will say is to all you youngsters out there, look after your hearing. Don't be embarrassed and put ear defenders or earplugs in if you need to. If you go to a lot of concerts, I'd recommend put them in anyway, because if I knew what I know now, I probably would have been wearing even a little rubber ones inside my ears when I saw half the bands I saw live in the tiny little clubs. And I said I had painful ears afterwards. I had ringing in my ears. I think one of the worst, I remember seeing 9 Inch Nails before anybody heard of them, in a tiny little club in Bristol as well. And that was another really painful experience. But weirdly, it's affected my reading now. And I said my hearing's not horrific. I don't need hearing aids or stuff like that. But some of the differentiations of noises have made quite a difference. And so I've, as I said, started wearing these ear defenders while reading late at night, or other times when noises annoy me. And it's really, really helped my concentration. So that's just a little bit of advice. Look after your hearing, and if you're having problems similar to mine, try ear defenders. I will say I tried the earplugs that I used in the cinema the other week with my wife to read, and I found that they didn't cut out enough sound. They were fine for the cinema bit, but they didn't cut out enough sound for me normally, and they also just made my ears itch like anything. So these actually, I said, are quite, basically they're industrial ones, so I can have a road with them on, and they're probably more powerful than the ones that I used to use when I was a printer running printing presses. And I wish I'd had them now, because they're really nice and light, and they don't make my ears sweat, and they're really comfortable, and they've revolutionised my late night reading. So yes, that was a little video weirdly about ear defenders and reading. But I hope that's useful to some of you, and if not, you can all think, what a weirdo. Anyway, I will speak to you all very soon, and thank you very much.